Hello guys, and welcome to episode 9 of my Burning Baltics campaign in Still Division 2, playing on the Axis side. Previously, the AI completed their turn. We were attacked here. The 935th Rifle Regiment attacked the 1st Battalion of the 380th Infantry Regiment. We repelled them. It's ended up with this unit now being disorganized as well. So we have these two units down here next to each other which are disorganized, which we might be able to attack. So let's try and counterattack and see how that goes. I should just be able to destroy these disorganized units if nothing can reinforce in phase A. It looks like that should work. If we bring in this unit and tactical battle, goodbye to that unit. I'm not going to be able to do it to this one because otherwise that's going to call in the 938, then we don't want to deal with that. So we're just going to be chilling out, although that did bring that unit out of the dug-in stance, which I didn't realise it would do. It doesn't matter too much because we can bombard the 938th to stop that from attacking again. Anyway, before we continue today, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am doing a stream on the 20th of August, 8 PM, it starts at 6 PM. BST. Make sure to be there. It is my 10th anniversary stream. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. And massive thanks, guys, to the support so far on the channel. It's been incredible. But yeah, let's continue. So we're going to be concentrating first of all on the top side here, and we'll want to take out the 1164th Rifle Regiment. They can't reinforce it with the Guards Mortar Regiment because it has this asterisk next to it, which means that they can't initiate attacks with it. So we can just do something like that, although it did bring them in. So that's interesting. So we're going to have to play it out. Let's jump on in. We're technically up against the 26th Guards Mortar Regiment and the 26th Guards Howitzer Artillery Brigade with our SS Armoured Recon Battalion Gross. Should be fine. Let me put down some units. The main problem we're going to have going into this is the fact that my front line is going to be hard to push because we are primarily recon units. I've got to keep these MG42s alive, Panzergrenführer alive, and so on. I've just got a couple of SPW231s here that are going to be pushing up on each side, and we're just going to bump into generally artillery pieces and Katyushas. So let's launch the battle. It's underway. I haven't got my MGs and stuff unloading too far forwards because I obviously don't want them to get taken out. Even though they only have artillery pieces, those artillery pieces can still direct fire. So I will need to watch out for that. Make short work of the Dushka truck. Got work of the Maxim there. Off colour on the left, finding some units for us to kill as well. I'm going to try and spread these out a little bit so that we can clean up any and all units that we find, and then the front line will automatically push forwards. Plan is just to find and kill any unit that can hold the front line, and so far so good. Doing okay. To completely break open the left hand side. Like we've found most of the units that we're holding towards the center as well. These Dushkas just need to be killed off. Hopefully the front line will swing forwards quite rapidly. In the meantime, bring in more AF in the 222s. Clean out any pockets of resistance. One of the hardest things is going to be finding the infantry in these towns if there is any. I'm going to unload my Aftada into the church there and hopefully we will spot them. Yeah, that lead is pretty important. That's causing the salient, then yeah, that's just going to disappear. The nice thing about the Aftada is they do have a little bit better line of sight than the vehicles themselves. Or quite a bit better, actually. Making sure we utilize that to find any infantry squads is quite important. I'm even going to go ahead and bring in my AA, the STKZ-71s, just to push the front line for us, particularly in places where my infantry is lagging behind, like the MG42s and the Panzergrenführers and so on. So I'm just methodically moving forwards my recon vehicles and taking out anything we find. I guess this is kind of interesting because it would be kind of like how the recon units would be used IRL to kind of screen a main force coming up behind. You'd have like the 222 recon cars going ahead, and if they found any light targets, they'd probably engage them on their own and then fall back. The STKZ-71s are finding their way slowly but surely front line. And I guess the 26th Guards Howitz Artillery Brigade doesn't join till phase B, because otherwise they'd probably already be in the battle. So this will just be killing off the Katyushas. That's total victory as we control all flags. Good. Pretty simple stuff. 7 minutes 19 seconds. Lots and lots of kills. That's gonna wipe out the other unit we attacked. Okay, but it didn't wipe out the artillery. Okay, well, I guess we could just go ahead and do that again in order to wipe out the 26th Guards Mortar Regiment. It'll be a pretty quick battle, so we'll just bring in those units on the ground. Battle jump on in. Pretty much going to be the same thing, just this time we have infantry instead. Gonna charge loads of infantry down the road, so we'll just place a load of Panzergrens. Simple deployment, so I'm gonna speed it up. Just run at them, pretty much. Okay, let's just launch the battle. Get these underway. Speed it up as well. Just zoom in forwards here. Really not much to see. I don't even know if they've brought in any Katyushas. I can't see any. Might be because we're still in our transports, but we've just literally spread out and captured it all. Yep, that's it. Total victory in 2 minutes 55 seconds. Only killed one unit. That didn't even destroy them. Are you having a laugh? Wow. Okay. Well, I guess the next thing we need to do is just kind of advance towards them, but it's just annoying that they're going to be there in our way. One thing I am going to have to kind of be careful about, though, is there are some units approaching Korps Kleffel, and they are on their own. So unless I can get some reinforcements here ASAP, I might have to shift some stuff back and stop aggressing south so much, because they're already sending quite a lot of units up. So yeah, I might just send the 285th Security Division back, and then we can maybe create a defense in between in the meantime. I'll have the 2nd SS Infantry Battalion push forwards with the SS Panzer Battalion Gross, and then we'll have Baltics and the SS Armoured Recon Battalion Gross kind of hold the position in the middle in the meantime. We also have the 101st Panzer Brigade that can head down the road here. I am going to want to keep an eye on the 1369th Rifle Regiment. And here we're going to want to hold off the 844th. So I'm just going to move back slightly. I'm going to move Panzer Groups Thrakvids down like so. Hopefully this unit can't get there in the next turn to connect the front line, because otherwise they'll no longer be surrounded. But with our movements on the top side done, I'm going to focus on having a look at what I want to do here. So I think the way that we're going to do this is attack almost every unit here. and try and wipe them out. The first battle is actually going to be really quite difficult. We're going to be up against IS-2 1943s and the IS-2 Konratis with the Su-85. There's a lot of tanks. And we're going to be attacking them with the 1st Battalion of the 35th Panzer Regiment and the 4th Armoured Recon Battalion, because those are the two that can arrive in Phase A. We'll bring in Group Herzog to back us up in Phase B, and I'll probably bring in some aircraft. The aircraft will probably be the main way that we win this. I might bring in Panthers, but they're kind of risky to use against IS-2s if they do bring them in. Ultimately, we will have way more troops on the field than them, because that's the only unit that's going to be available to them in Phase A. It's well overextended, unless there's another unit further back that we can't see yet. But considering I have the Recon Battalion quite far up, I'd expect to be able to see the units here. I also put up the AA net, so you can see that there, which should hopefully counter any aircraft coming in, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and set up this attack. We'll use the 1st Battalion of 35th Panzer Regiment, 4th Armoured Recon Battalion, the Group Herzog, and we'll bring in the best planes for the job, which is probably going to be the Ju-87s with their cluster AP. I think that's the best we've got, other than the Ju-87 ground attack aircraft. There's one with the 37. The Focke-Wulfs would also be pretty good for bombing the tanks, but the Ju-87s would definitely be the best bet. We'll bring those in. Tactical battle, set up player control. Here we are. It's quite a wide map. It's actually a map that kind of favors IS-2s quite a lot for the long-range engagements. But the plan will be to pretty much just spread out, get loads of recon down, and then bring in the Ju-87s to kill them. Simple as that. That's us set up. So I have opted to bring in 4 Ju-87 D5s with the clusters early on. That's all of the ones I have available, I believe. And then I have one of the Ju-87 recon planes to kind of direct them. I have brought in a bunch of these Aufklärer in the 222s. They're going to be pushing forwards into positions in order to get me recon information on any units that come close if the Ju-87 D5 misses anything. And I've got a bunch of infantry spread out to basically hold the front line. On the right hand side, 4 Panzergrens going to be able to push up. We do actually get quite a lot of infantry in the 4th Armoured Recon Battalion to support the 35th Panzer Regiment, so that's actually quite nice. So let's go ahead and launch the battle. I haven't brought in any Panthers. I might do if we have an opportunity at maybe sort of mid to close range to engage. The thing is, the closer you get to an IS-2, the more accuracy it has, and the more accuracy an IS-2 has, the more chance it has to one-shot you. Because an IS-2 almost always penetrates a Panther. You'd have to be kind of lucky for it not to, and it would only probably happen at long range. And then at long range, the Panthers kind of struggle to penetrate the IS-2s, so your sweet spot's normally like between 1,500 meters and 1,750 meter range for the Panthers. But I'm surprised that we haven't really seen it so far. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Okay, so we finally see some stuff on the right hand side. Looks like they've almost completely focused here. I'm going to get my Ju-87s to go ahead and pick a target each. Meanwhile, on the left, just push forwards, take lots of ground. The Ju-87s, and goodbye IS-2s. Wow, that first one hit this, well, this second one technically almost didn't die. I mean, that one didn't die, for example. Had just enough health to stay alive. We're already up to technically 22 flags. I'm going to bring in the Afghan Panther D. We'll bring in some Panthers, why not? Yeah, on this left-hand side, gone really well. I can probably grab that flag as well. If I cap this flag, it's basically over right away. Almost tempted to bomb the N3A1 Razvedka instead of the IS-2s, because they're probably going to cause us more issues. Also, they're a lot easier for me to kill. Say that, and then they don't die. Just set up my half-tracks to charge the spawn points, so that we can maybe cut them off entirely. That would actually be quite good. I think in my next tech, probably going to buy some of these bombers. I think bombers might actually be a better way of killing these IS-2s than the clusters. Because I know that having one or two, well, probably two or three more like, can probably kill an IS-2. Particularly with the heavier payload. Like one of these has one 500 kilogram bomb and two 250 kilogram bombs. Two of those hits an IS-2, it might kill it. This one's weaker, so we'll go for that immediately with one of those. And I'm going to get my Ju-87 recon plane out of there because it's slowly dying to all of the machine gun fire. We have ended up cutting off the left-hand side completely from the start. I think it's pretty much due to the fact that they don't have any like points bend. My Ju-87 completely whiffed. Unfortunate. Got the cluster planes coming in, but that's the end. Yeah, total victory. Just like that. 5 minutes, 26 seconds. I thought that was going to be a bit more difficult, but apparently not. Apparently this is the day of easy victories. We killed 2 tanks, and they're disorganized. Simple as that. Next up, we're going to be attacking probably the 7th Guards Mechanized Brigade. We do have the Panthers again. We have the 31st Panzer Regiment. And yeah, it'll be a fun attack. So click to prepare battle. We can actually bring in the 4th Armoured Recon Battalion again, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll bring in the artillery to give us a hand. And I guess we could bring in some Panzergrenadiers in Phase B just in case. Let's do it. Fire control. They are going to have the other units going to be backing them up as well. Jump on in. Very interesting map that we've landed on. This should be a much more interesting battle though, because we're up against 7th Guards Mechanized Brigade and the 1st Guards Motorized Battalion. So my Panthers are going to have an absolute field day on this map. Like, it's going to be awesome. We can destroy so much medium armor. Let me go ahead and get my troops down, and we'll get this underway. Pretty much set up. So I've just done 1 infantry squad to each flag, more or less, that's on the front here. And then I've just backed them up with loads of Panthers, like there's loads. We got 3 here. We got another 2 here. We've got another 3 here. There's 1, 2 for this ridge, and then 3 for the right-hand side. Quite a bit. So let's get this underway. I do also have a bunch of these Spähtrupp that are going to be spreading out into basically buildings that are going to give us good line of sight. Basically it. So we'll speed things up, and if I need anything extra, I left myself 5 points just in case. We are bumping into a lot of these transports. That motorcycle, lucky to be alive, took a bunch of shots, but the Panthers here actually engaging these transports, which is good. Nice. Did a lot of damage on this left-hand side. I haven't bumped into any of the tanks yet, but it will take them a little while to move forwards. Move forwards, my Speertroop, and the infantry on the right-hand side. We've bumped into the tanks here. The BA-10M's taken out. Now it's going to be the Emchers versus my Panthers. Guess who's going to win? 3 Panthers versus 4. But only 3? Oh, there's a T-70 in there as well. There goes 1. Goes 2. Very good. Let's have the Panzergren move forwards. And have the Panzergren and the Speertroop move forwards there as well. Half tracks can always lead the charge. Oh, we did end up getting side shot twice, actually. Ooh. Good. I'm gonna replace both of those with another 4 more once they finish that engagement. Again, the front armor, no chance. Side armor, the Shermans definitely have a good chance of killing us. Right, so these are going to fall back now. And we're going to leave them further back so they don't get artied. Pushing up onto this hill on the left side is actually going to be kind of difficult. I think what I'm going to do is we'll make a little group of Panzer IIs. I'm going to bring up another infantry squad. And then we'll try and get up here as quickly as we can. Avoid having to deal with the M4s at close range. My Panzergren's got really chunked there, but the Panther A came to save the day. Already we've made a lot of ground, and we've killed a lot of M4s. We just need to cover the roads really now on this right hand side, so that's what we're going to do. In the middle, it's just going to be a wave of Panthers pushing forwards. Bumped into the NKVD here that were causing that little salient, so that's good, get rid of them. Just get the Panthers to the edge of the ridge. They can cover the spawns for us in the meantime. I'm going to move these Panthers so that they are ready to engage the tanks which are on their way. There's a couple tanks coming here, there's a tank coming on this side, so we're going to want to try and split to engage those. Make sure that neither really gets side shot. Move the Panther airfield over to the right hand side so we can help out. At this range, they are going to have a low chance of penetration, I think, maybe. Be a little bit careful of that. It can really screw you. But this Panther did take a penetration. Tell because it gets stressed. Like, usually heavier tanks, and, well, in this case, I guess they're technically classed as medium tanks, if they take damage, then they get stressed. But most of the time, like against something like an M4, you just have it bounce off you, so the stress wouldn't be very high. So if you see the stress high on one of your units after looking away for a little while, make sure you zoom in and check its health, which you can check by seeing how damaged it is. So in this case, because it's got that sort of grey, like rusted look to it, it's yeah, obviously not as pristine, and therefore has taken damage. We've only got to capture one more flag. Have the sneaky M4s coming around the side here. That's probably what ended up getting side shot on my Panther to begin with. It's just an absolute massacre for these Emchers. Look at them. So many of them just taken out. I don't think we barely lost a unit. Classic Panther push. Very, very well. That's it. That's victory. 8 minutes, 16 seconds, 102 kills, 3 losses. We lost 2 half-tracks and a Panzergren. Another pretty fast battle, considering I thought that they would bring in way more since they had 2 units. We killed 14 Emchers, the T-70s, we got the BA-10Ms. I might actually destroy that unit. I'm surprised it has left them in front of us. Like, that was kind of weird. I'm not a massive fan of that. But we can move past them, thankfully, due to them not really stopping us doing that. So I am going to move up the road with the Armoured Recon Battalion so we can see what we might come up against. And they have sent back the 561st to stop us in our tracks, so we'll have to move up the 1st Battalion of the 35th Panzer Regiment to help us out. We can, of course, destroy the 1st Guards Motorised Battalion, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just tactical battle with the Recon unit. And then I'm probably going to want to destroy the 77th Rifle Division, so we're going to try and attack them as well. But I think before we do that, I'm going to just move up the rest of my troops. They don't end up going in front of us and cutting us off. That would be really kind of annoying. Kind of move up everything we need to. And then we'll just select as much as we need to attack the 77th Rifle Division. I might as well use the 12th Panzer Division HQ. We'll use the 5th Panzergren Regiment. Too much to kill here. We can bring in the 5th Panzer Division HQ. It will give us some decent light vehicles to use. And then maybe Group Friedrich, since it has some Panthers to use, but Panthers aren't going to be that useful. Let's tactical battle. Jump on in. So far, this campaign has been pretty good for giving us like a wider range of maps to play on. I think this battle is going to be another simple one, a matter of just running down the units that we do find, because they're not going to have that many units. I'm probably going to focus on just using the 5th Panzergren Regiment here and start putting down some units. That's pretty much it. I've got all my troops down that I want to put down. I'm not going to put down too many more at the start. I'm probably going to be bringing stuff in as and when I need it, based on what we come up against. But the mainline force is that we got like 6 units of Panzergren on each of these roads that's going to be pushing forwards, unloading relatively quickly because we're in a breakthrough attack. So we don't want to go too far and get transport sniped and all that. And then I've got a bunch of Ersatztruppen that we're going to be using just to sprint forwards and kill anything that we miss, basically, as we go. But yeah, after the start, we'll just bring in some of these 259s and 251-9s and stuff like that to help kill off stuff faster. This should be enough for the time being. We can also find the holes in the defences by doing this. I'm going to make sure we unload so that we don't get hit by transport snipes. Like, any of these units could have been like an AT rifle or something. In that one case, it wasn't actually an AT gun completely, so I'll definitely have to unload that. Going to be pretty simple stuff moving forwards. Just gonna use tab to spread these out and give them attack move orders, while the Ersatztruppen can just play catch up. That. We'll just probably speed things up. Another AT gun going down there as we move forwards and spread out. And then, yeah, as we need units, we can bring Got plenty of points to work with. I ended up deciding to just bring in these 259s anyway. Start shifting those up to provide fire support against enemy infantry and stuff. The main thing is just, I'm going to have to walk forwards here. I can't really just drive forwards because they're going to have AT guns and stuff set up. So that's why I'm going to have to be really careful with these 259s as well, because things like these ZIS-2s are just going to be hanging about and they will pop them quite easily. Same with the Panthers that I could potentially bring in. Did lose a 259, there you go, it's ZIS-2. Just as I was saying it, of course. So bringing in any form of armor is just kind of a waste, because I don't have the ability to spot the AT guns until they fire. Like, even my best recon would struggle to see them unless they're really close. So I'm better off just spreading out a bunch of infantry and just killing them as we bump into them, like we did on this right hand side here. Another ZIS-2 here on the left. We just killed the one on the right. Just going in the open's actually doing some work on us, so maybe I'll bring in the Panthers to kind of just support at range from this ridge. Get rid of a lot of these Maxim 4M trucks and stuff. On the left hand side, going to be using the 259 to help with those trucks instead. My little group of Panthers driving up here. It'd be nice fire support across the open. I did end up losing a Panzergren, probably due to the Maxim 4M and just deleting that. Yeah, got to be kind of really careful sometimes, because those Maxim 4Ms, if you just like leave them on target, they will kill your infantry very fast. I'm going to get the 259 to purposefully target these trucks, because my Panzergrens should be able to otherwise deal with the Sappery at range. It's the trucks that are causing the issues for my infantry. My Panthers have arrived. Just going to spread them around front there as they take out all of these units for us. Now have 20 to 4 in flags already. As I mentioned, it's going to be a pretty simple victory. It's just going to take a little bit of time due to the fact that I'm reliant on walking forwards my infantry to win it. Panther group. Very nice. Let them go. I'm going to get these Panzergrens to spread out for me so that we can find any and all AT guns that get in our way. We've got pretty much full control over the open, which is great. Guns pushing forwards. Any trucks that we find, just take them out. Nice, MD-42s did the job there, that's really good. Get the 259 to help out with this Maxim 4M. Gonna make sure that the ZIS-2 is dead. Good. What Avto Gomnotti. And in the open. Taken out. These Panzergrens might take out the Maxim before my STK Z259 gets there, actually. Yeah, it did. We'll keep that on the edge and we'll put it into the light cover there just in case there's an AT gun here, although if there was, the front line wouldn't have pushed over it, so that's fine. The only flag we've got left to get is this one on the left, but I don't think we're going to get it before the end of the game anyway, because it's only 15 seconds left. We've got it sped up, so not long at all. That's it. Total victory. 9 minutes 50 seconds and 40 kills, 4 losses. Great stuff. We only lost 259 in the Panzergren. and that will hopefully destroy them. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And unfortunately, guys, it has been my time, so I'm going to leave it here. In the next episode, we will be looking at the rest of the movements here. We made pretty much all of the attacks already, so that's nice. We'll potentially look at more attacks down here, but it seems like they've reinforced down the main road, down the highway. So it may just come to a point where we dig in here and we just continue with the attacks either way towards Jelgava. Like, maybe I can attack here now. I don't know. I mean, it seems like the strength would still be the same as it was before. So yeah, it'd be difficult to make that happen. If I could get rid of the AA, then we can bring in like a bomber or something, and then maybe it would work, but it would still be difficult. Yeah, we'll see. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.